YouTube tarot reader Lisa Lee has been found using bad language during her twice-weekly live streams. In a shocking turn of events, it has also been discovered that she will not tell you what you want to hear, only what you need to know. The internet is in collective shock that authenticity is alive and well in this corner of the YouTube meta space. Do not watch if you are easily offended.
Click the button. There we go. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to a Tarot Tuesday. Do excuse me, just putting away the keyboard and everything. It's been a hell of a day. It's been a hell of a day, in all honesty, here at Beyond Authentic Towers. So, yes, basically, what have I been doing all day? All day long, I have been trying to sort and fix the sound. So, fingers crossed.
You just made the list.
Hopefully you heard something. I have managed to get everything resorted. We've had to move everything today because I'm just putting my phone over there, because this setup is actually held together. I've got two monitors set up and it's held together by a giant post that is screwed vice clamped onto the desk. But unfortunately, this is a cheap IKEA desk, and as it's screwed into it, it's basically broken into the desk. So yes, that's very useful, isn't it? Very useful thing that has happened. So I've as a temporary fix, I've had to go and get a chopping board from the kitchen that we don't use and unwind the clampy thing enough to shove it underneath, at which point the monitor fell off. It's just been a day. I was supposed to do editing. None of that happened. It's all just been trying to fix the sound system. And then I just jumped on with Neil to sort out some Instagram bits, because Neil's going to be helping me with Instagram, because my brain, hello, Neil, look. Neil should have a red cup by his name. So I was trying to sort that out. And also, I seem to have now gifted 5 people, not just Neil, 4 other people, memberships. So I don't know who they went to, but if you got yourself a gifted membership, well done you. So then, well done you. Yes, Sophie, I've got you in. You can have your reading. You'll be the first one on the list, my darling. I just need to know your question. So if you can go and do the what? Slurp, slurp. What's that? What? Slurp, slurp. Do I need my coffee? Is that what you're trying to tell me? I do need my coffee. Hang on. Oh, it's so delicious. It is so delicious. But I've got water here as well as some, I don't know what it is. I don't know what this is. It's something Alan Energy. I've got no idea who Alan is or what this is all about. They were in Morrison's for £1 and I just saw the tin. Basically, you stick something purple in Morrison's and put an energy drink inside and I will grab that 100%. Good evening, High Priestess 123. I will do your reading. I've got one coming in for Sophie. Sophie, I just need your question, my darling. Please pop your question on. Please pop your question in, Sophie. Thank you, Judy. Look at that. Oh, you flat. Oh, so shy. So shy. So yes, Sophie's up first and then High Priestess 123. High Priestess, were you on the other day? Because we had Hugh Priestess 123 join us and it was all very strange. Very, very strange. Very, very, very odd. Right, there we go. Fabulous. There we go. I've got your question in, Sophie. So yours will go in front of High Priestess because yours came in on Sunday. So yeah, right then. If you are a new subscriber here, good evening. Welcome to Beyond Authentic. Hopefully you know what we're doing today, because I bloody don't. No, I'm joking. We are doing some tarot readings tonight. So if you are new here, how do you get yourself a tarot reading? Well, there are 2 ways. The first way to get a tarot reading is to send a super chat, as Sophie did and as High Priestess 123 have both done. And what happens, I will then go through the super chats in the order they come in and do those readings. Okay, that's what we do. Once I've done the super chat readings, we open up a free round. And then if you want a question, all you need to do is pop your question into the live chat, starting with the word question, and then I will pick randomly from all of those. Okay, that's how that happens. So if you are wanting a free round, just wait until I do the first 2 readings, and then we will open up a free round. So it shouldn't be too long as we're sat here today. Good evening to HS. Good evening to Mr. Lynn. Oh, clicked on the wrong one then. Good evening to Mr. Lynn. Good evening to everybody joining today. Do you know what? You can see I've got the green lights on in the background. I'm wearing green. I'm also wearing a green skirt, but I'm not going to stand up because, you know, nobody needs to see that. But yeah, I'm feeling quite spring-like today. I am feeling good. The joys of spring are starting to happen. I can hear the birds and see the plants coming up, and also see that the yucca plant that I planted outside might have been in too much sun because it's completely almost died. So yeah, all of that. Anyway, let's crack on with some tarot reading. So what do you need to know? First of all, there are some rules. We call it housekeeping on the channel, and it goes like this. Tarot is for entertainment purposes only. You do make all of your own decisions in your own life. Tarot should never be used to offer medical advice, legal advice, financial advice, and counseling advice. If you want support in those areas, please seek out a professional in those areas. That is definitely not me. Okay, gifted amateur, definitely not a professional. However, you also need to remember, don't dox yourself. Do not share your private information on the interwebs, okay? If you're having an affair with your boss's wife, or if you're having, you know, if you've just I don't know, nicked several $100,000 from your company, or whatever is happening, if you're doing anything that's a little bit naughty or a little bit sort of illegal or frowned upon, do not put on the internet that you're doing it. Even if you're asking a tarot question, will I get away with embezzling $7 million from the pension fund? No, you won't. But that isn't a tarot answer. That's just don't be a sleazebag answer, if that makes sense. So yeah, that is what we recommend. Keep your personal information private, if that makes sense. There's a reason you call it private, you know what I mean? Same thing as we teach kids, your privates are private for a reason, because they're private. They shouldn't be shown to everybody unless you're an adult. Same thing, even if you're an adult on the internet, keep your private information private. That's all I'm saying. Anything else I need to go through before we do it? I think that is it. Ultra Ego Wisdom, good evening to you. You were gifted a free membership. So I clicked a button earlier on thinking it would only go to Neil, and actually, because Neil was on the live stream, Neil's one of my moderators, and I was trying to set a few things up, and apparently 5 people got sent gifted memberships today at random. And Ultra Ego Wisdom, I know you were one of them, so there you go. You got a free gifted membership, so you can come and join us on the monthly. No, not monthly, it's weekly, on the weekly members only live streams. Anyway, I've talked enough about that. Mods, let people know as they come in what all the gubbins is about, and everything. And I am going to change the banner, and we're going to start with some tarot readings. Yes, indeed. Now, hopefully I've got everything working. I'm going to change cameras because I have slightly changed the setup ever so slightly. Please be central. Yes, look, I've got a nice a nice clean desk. Look at this lovely clean space over here. Ignore this. Look at this lovely clean space. I've now got my dinga in here, my donga. For those of you that are here with a members only chat, this is the personal manifestation that I did on Sunday. It now sits on my desk, just there right in front of me. And I've got our group one, which is here attached to the monitor. So we'll see what happens and how we can help manifesting things. But anyway, why have I just left that there? My poor brain. Anyway, right, we're going to go to our first reading of the evening. And the first reading is from Sunday evening. The lovely Sophie did send it across, and unfortunately we were out of time on Sunday. By the time Sophie had actually sent it, we were already out of time, so we didn't manage to do that on Sunday. But I will make sure that, as I say, Sophie, you are our first the cab off the rank now, and that's going to play right this very second. So then, Sophie, you might be asking today, or you might be interested to know what decks I'm using. I always like the combination of these two. The Light Seers is quite spiritual, and the Fifth Spirit is very, very, very blunt. So we're going to try both of these today. We'll use the Fifth Spirit. There we go. We'll use the Fifth Spirit Tarot as our standard tarot, if that makes sense. Right then, if you are new here, you might not know anything about my lovely dragon. Yes, I have a dragon. No, I'm not insane. My dragon, in fact, I have 5. I have 5 dragons. Wispy is the air elemental dragon that mainly pops up when we do tarot. If you imagine this sort of dragon here, but made out of ether, wisps of smoke, steam, little bits of, cold breath on a cold day, all of that, warm breath on a cold day, all of that. That is what Wispy is made of. And Wispy has his own music, which is now playing again. Hurrah! It's taken me, literally, I have been sat at this desk for, what time is it now? It's now 7:14 in the UK. I've been sat here since just gone 3 o'clock, trying to fix everything, reset everything, rejig everything. So, yeah, I've got a very numb bum already, but we're doing 2 hours of streaming today, so it's going to be even number by the end of it. But come on in, Wispy, let's go for it. So, as always, let's pop the question on the screen. That would help, wouldn't it? So then, cleansing the space as I always do, with Wispy coming in with the lovely tinkly music there in the background. Wispy, Sophie Kang wants to know, I've just started dating Raj. What are his feelings for me? We were previously in a phone relationship and now in person. Oh, that sounds interesting. So let's have a look. You've just started physically dating Raj. And what are his feelings for you? So that's what we're going to have a look at. Let me just check my board with lots of different spreads. Oh, I know what's a good one. I know what is a good one. I know what's a good one. Yay, 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 yay. Right, let's do your drop. Obviously, if you were here in person, you'd be shuffling the cards and cutting the deck for me. So we're going to do the inverse triangle, Wispy, and we're going to do it with the what Sophie Kang wants from the relationship, what Raj wants from the relationship. Hang on, sorry everybody, let me just mute that. Where do I press mute? There we go. Mute for 8 hours. There we go. Just muted the other big WhatsApp group I am in. And what the relationship future is. Okay. So what links between you and Raj? What is the link? Okay. What is the link between what Raj wants and the relationship future? Okay. And what is the root of this relationship looking like? Okay. Right, my darling. First of all, remember, this is not professional advice. This is just the guidance that comes up in the cards. This is not necessarily the answers that you're going to want to hear. But I have to do this honestly, and I have to be very honest with you about this, about what the cards are saying. So then let's have a look. By the way, I don't have my chat on screen, so the comment section on screen whilst I'm reading. So if there's something that you are responding to, I'll see that at the end of this, if that makes sense. Then I'll go back to the comment screen. So what you're looking for from a relationship, we've got the Ten of Pentacles. Pentacles is work, career, finances, so it could be a financial stability. But Pentacles is also the suit that is connected with growth. I always say the 9 is when something is full. The 10 is when it's overflowing. So tens tend to be the absolute extreme of a thing. Now, the fact this is Pentacles and the fact that, as I say, for me, this is about that growth as well as it is work, career, finances. It feels like you almost want a relationship that's ready-made because it's coming up reversed. It's saying that perhaps you want something that's going to be fairly easy, that you don't have to put a lot of that work into, if that makes sense. Now, this is not saying it's a negative or a positive. It's just saying that actually, you want something that is almost off the shelf. Do you know what I mean? You want something that is going to work. and be like relationships you've seen on TV or relationships that you've seen around you. No, that's fine if it kind of matches what Raj wants. And when we see what Raj wants, we've got the 9 of Swords. So this is what Raj is bringing to the relationship and what Raj is after. 9 of Swords. Swords is the trouble and strife suit. Okay, you heard me say here 10 is overflowing, 9 is full. There's a lot of challenge. I think Raj is going to be a challenging partner, a really challenging partner. I think there's going to be lessons to be learned. There's going to be maybe a lot of confrontation, but maybe a lot of a fairly big learning curve, put it that way, where you're learning about what you need and what Raj needs. I'm hedging what I'm saying because quite often swords are quite negative in terms of the tarot. Swords are the trouble and strife cards, as I say. So it does feel there will be issues here and challenges for you to overcome if that's what you're wanting to do. Okay, please never accept a bad relationship because you think it's all you can get. But a challenging relationship, like as much as I talk about me and Rufus being like we're literally 2 jigsaw pieces that connect in a very complex way, but when we first got together there were challenges for us and I had to learn to trust a relationship. I had to learn how to not mask my ADHD and everything that brings, and Rufus had to learn how to deal with all of that whilst also dealing with his own sort of issues and things. So it was a challenge. We loved each other from pretty early on, and we still do now, nearly 9 years later, but there were some challenges. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a negative, if that makes sense, but this is what Raj is bringing. In terms of the relationship future, we've got a cup card. Cups are emotions, but this is reversed, and this is saying that the 8 of Cups is always a journey card to the 9 for me. It's always about looking at your situation, where you are. How do you get out of a situation that might not be perfect? How do you get out of a situation that is, it's kind of time to take that next step, time to take that next journey? Because here you can see the 8 of Cups is a card where the roof is leaking, the drips are coming in, you've got all of these pots and things collecting the drips so that nothing floods, but it's not raining. This is a problem inside the house, inside the relationship. However, this was reversed, which is saying that I think the pair of you won't necessarily see the problems within the relationship, perhaps until it's too late. And perhaps neither of you are wanting to take that step to the 9. You know how I said here, it's sometimes easier to get a pre-made relationship. And the fact that you used to date over the phone and now you're trying it in person, there's kind of an element of that. Looking at what's underneath, we've got the 10 of Swords coming in, linking the 10 of Pence and the 10 of and the 9 of Swords. Again, 10s are overflowing. There's a lot of challenges here, my darling. I think the two of you, the chemistry is going to be very, very challenging, very, 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 it's not going to be an easy time, put it that way. It's not saying it's impossible, but it doesn't feel like it's going to be an easy time, because you can see here this bird has had 10, in this case, pins put through it, and unfortunately the current life, if you like, of this bird has ended, but the soul has been already placed in another egg. So the soul is there, ready to be used, ready to come about again, if that makes sense. So there is a little bit of a hope. When it's this way round, it's saying that it almost feels like that soul, that connection, that deep kind of reverence for each other is somehow missing because of this reversal. Does that make sense? So I would be very careful about this relationship, especially because we've then got the King of Wands. Wands is all about self-esteem, self-control, self-worth, all of those lovely things for me. and this is connecting Raj with the relationship future. Interesting that the king is coming up with Raj. The main thing, everybody who knows me on a regular basis will know that the key thing for this card is that it's a red flag. It's basically a red alert, red warning. Is literally a red flag on the card, as you can see. So that is saying there is something here about this guy that you might want to be careful about. Okay, I'm not saying he's going to be an absolute ogre or really horrible or anything like that, but you might just, there's a lot of challenge cards here, a lot of learning cards, and this might be a really tough lesson to learn if you don't have your eyes open. So hopefully the point of this reading is that you're opening your eyes with this relationship. It's reversed again, so kings are quite controlling. Wands is all about self-esteem, self-worth, and confidence. This feels very, very, very overbearing, especially linking the 9 and coming up opposite the 10. These are very, very strong cards. And then the root of it, we've got a stagnant card. So the 4s for me are about stability. When we think of 4 chair legs, 4 table legs, it gives it that stability that we need. This is reversed, so that stability is there, but it's there's no life to it, so it becomes stagnant. And when you get stagnant water, you get mosquitoes. This is stagnant confidence. So this is saying that it doesn't feel like there is growth here in this relationship. It doesn't feel like there is somewhere for it to blossom. It feels like instantly you've kind of gone from a phone call to a in person, but now it's the same. Nothing's changed. Overall, my darling, I would be very, very wary with this reading. Again, you make all your own decisions about your own life. You're looking at what Raj wants, what his feelings are. The connection we've got here, there's a lot of hard lessons. Another way to look at that would be, again, control. There's some controlling issues perhaps that we would need I think you would need to look at in the long term. I'm so sorry this wasn't the reading after waiting for 2 days as well. I'm sorry this wasn't the reading that you were expecting. I'm sorry this isn't sort of, all singing and dancing, but this is the reading that the cards are giving me, my darling. Again, you make your own decisions about your own life. It may well be this is where Raj is now. It may well be that learning these lessons as a couple could put you in a very different place in a few weeks' time. However, this King of Wands with the swords all around and with this stagnant energy coming in, I would be very, very careful, my darling. Be very careful. And with that, I'm going to say thank you for your question, and that is going to be your reading for today. I know it's probably not what you want, my darling, but I can only read the cards as they come up, and I can only answer the questions in the way that the cards give me those answers. So I do hope that at least forewarned, as they say, is forearmed. So I hope that helps. Right then, thank you ever so much to Sophie Kang. Let me take that one off the screen. And right, I've got High Priestess 1, 2, 3. Thank you, my darling. I know it's probably not what you want to hear, but just be mindful. Be mindful. The cards aren't, they're not 100% definite at times. There is always scope for interpretation, and sometimes learning lessons, we all have to learn lessons in life. Just be careful is all I will say, my darling. And again, it's always your choice as to what happens and to where you go from here, but I hope that gives you a little bit of guidance anyway. Right then, my darling, so let's go I'm going to go for High Priestess, as I say, 1, 2, 3. High Priestess 1, 2, 3, you are the next cab off the rank, and I'm going to do your reading straight after this. We have a super strong connection here, right? Oh my god! Okay, so I've moved the I've swapped the camera over. So then, High Priestess 123 still going strong with M. What are the next steps? Let's have a look. So Wispy. Oh, before we do, we cleanse. We use the bell for cleansing. We cleanse the energy of the readings of the desk. Sorry, in between the readings, and we bring in the lovely Wispy. I missed Wispy's music on Sunday. So then, Wispy, Wispy, Wispy. What have we got for High Priestess 1, 2, 3? So High Priestess is still going strong with M, and we'd like to know what the next steps are, please. What are the next steps for High Priestess and M? Let's have a wee little look. Don't forget, if you are new here, you can always join our memberships. We have memberships open now here on YouTube, and we do a weekly members only live stream. So 6 p.m. UK time, which is just before the main Sunday evening stream where we do the tarot. There's an hour-long members only stream, and members can ask for readings in that stream. We can talk about different decks. We sometimes, I don't know, we talk about all sorts of bits and pieces over the years. We really have. Oh, that's a very low drop, look, High Priestess. But yeah, feel free if you would like to join the membership. It starts at just $2.99 on the YouTubes. Right then. So, still going strong with them. The next steps. Let's have a look. Where you are. Ooh, okay. What you need to know. Excuse me. What the opportunity is. What's linking these two from where you are to what you need to know. The 8 of Swords, right? Okay. What's linking the Knight of Wands to the 2 of Wands? Interesting, you've got all wands at the top. The 3 of Swords reversed. Thankfully, it's reversed. Okay. And what is the Root, Wispy? The Tower reversed. Right. Okay. Let's have a look. So the next steps in this relationship. Let's have a look here. So, I need to get those ones up for the Tower. There we go. Is that on my screen? Yes, it is. So, where you are right now, we've got the King of Wands. Again, we're aware of the red flag connotation, but if everything's going strong for yourself, then the King does have its. So the King is super confident, right? Very, very confident male, very sure of themselves, very like ebullient in the way that they act, very, very, very self-assured. Now, the reason this comes up as a red flag so often is because for some people, that can be an overwhelming kind of, what's the word I'm thinking of? As an overwhelming personality, right? So sometimes in a relationship, this is too much and the other partner gets a bit lost. However, if this is where you are and things are going well, then you're not getting lost, because it may well be, High Priestess, that you are also a strong personality, and therefore the two of you actually blend quite well, if that makes sense. What you need to know, we do have the Knight coming in as a little bit of a warning here, because Knights do tend to act first, think later, and this is in the what you need to know. So again, this is about confidence. So just make sure that everything is going strong with you as well as for M, if that makes sense. Do you know what I'm saying by that? That both of you are getting your needs met. The teenage energy element here within the Wands with the Knight coming in, that's something just to be aware of. It's something where you might find yourselves going off on flights of fancy and quick and easy decisions, and literally going off on almost like going off on tangents, but going off on sort of mini adventures. That can be fine. That can be absolutely fantastic if the two of you are on board. Okay, so that is what I would recommend, is if that all comes up, just make sure the pair of you are singing from the same hymn sheet, and then this never becomes an issue. Do you know what I mean? The Two of Wands comes in the relationship future. Now this is good. This is actually good, because what you've got, the other way of interpreting this is that this would be the King, this would be yourself, and this is the way that the relationship is headed, right? So what you need to know, where you are, what you need to know, and the relationship future. The Two of Wands. The fact that we've got two strong wand cards coming in, and the fact that we've got the twos are all about couples for me. They're all about two people coming together. So if both of you are fairly confident and we've got the Two of Wands coming up as the relationship future, then that comes in. Do you know what I mean? That kind of dovetails in, because it's literally saying that we've got two confident people who are bringing that energy together, and combined, my God, you'd be a power couple. This is literally the David Beckham, Victoria, whatever she was before she was Beckham, Posh Spice. This is like, you know, this is their energy coming together. And so I think the top row is very, very positive. The influences go a little bit off as we go down, but we'll come to it. So linking the two of you, we've got the Eight of Swords. Now, the Eight of Swords is about binds being cut, blindfolds being lifted, truth being revealed, all of those lovely things. Generally a positive card from the Swords. It is something that, you know, again, it's a lesson you learn, but when this is reversed, it's saying that there might be something here where there's a little bit of subterfuge that you don't quite know what's happening yet, if that makes sense. There could be something here where there is a desire to keep that blindfold on, or to keep that knowledge from escaping, because as I say, eights are quite often about journeys, and the eight here is about taking those steps towards, you know, the next series of lessons and all of that. But to do so, you have to have that blindfold lifted and to see what the past has brought you and where it's brought you to. Now, one of the things I would say is that this red flag from this king with this, that might be a little bit of a dodgy connection, if you know what I mean. That might be a hint at something. I don't think it is, in all honesty, because we've got the two coming up so positively. But just be aware, if there's something that feels to you like there's something being hidden, or there is some subterfuge, or, you know, I don't know, he may not be, he may be hiding texts or something. If there's anything there like that, just be aware of it, because the connection we've got between the Knight energy, so potentially yourself, and the Two of Wands, so this idea of what you need to know and moving forward into the relationship, we've got the Three of Swords reversed. Three of Swords is the universal, it's known as the heartbreak card. This is reversed, so it's saying that there could well be, this could be relating to a heartache in the past. Okay, so it could be that one of you has had a particularly bad relationship, right? I don't just mean, ooh, things didn't go well and you separated. I mean, like, one of you's had a put your hand, punch through the chest, rip your heart out, you know, leave all the gubbins behind type relationship end. If that's so, then this is still, there's still an after effect here happening, and there's still stuff that you need to kind of deal with before you get to that future. So it may just be that there is something here under the surface, deep hidden from the past, that needs to just be sorted so that this doesn't become an issue. I don't think it's going to happen. Like, there's not going to be a breakup now. It doesn't feel like that because of where it is. It's in the, you know, influencer's position, or the influencer's level. Basically, it isn't something that is active because it's reversed, so it's saying this is in the past. But just be aware, because sometimes if we're still healing from a past trauma, if that healing hasn't been finished, it can affect our future, especially because the root of everything, we've got the Tower. Now, the Tower historically is literally a tower being struck by lightning and people jumping for their lives. Now, I'm not saying in this case that that's particularly relevant in for where your relationship is, that it's going to be completely burnt down, but there is something here. The Tower is well known for being the card of having that rug pulled from under you, sudden surprises, sudden revelations, sudden shocks. But this is reversed. And coming off this level, it's saying that I think there could be something. Again, you're asking where the next steps are. So I'm not sure whether this is coming in with M or with yourself, but there could be something way in the past where a relationship ended spectacularly badly, leading to lots of lies and not wanting the truth revealed and this heartache. And that is that bottom layer, that root of it can be something that can disrupt where you're headed if you're not careful, if that makes sense. Because it does feel, because all these cards are reversed and your top line is upright, it does feel that all of this is influenced from past relationships, and not something that's around right now. So it does feel where you are right now is relatively harmonious moving forward, but this is like that iceberg where under the surface, like you see a little tiny chip of ice on the top, and the majority of the iceberg is under the surface, and that's where the danger is. And so what I would say is if this is your trauma, then maybe look at some counseling. If this is M's trauma, again, maybe look at a form of counseling to get it out in the open and to start that healing process. But it does feel that the two of you are fairly okay moving forward as you're going, basically, if that makes sense. Just be very mindful of this influence, because this card isn't the Two of Cups. Okay, it's when we get couples that are wands related, it can often kind of end up friend zoning because of other traumas and other, maybe there's a lack of complete confidence or complete trust there. So just be aware of that, my darling. But I hope that helps. And thank you very, very much for your donation. Thank you very much for your question. And as I say, I really hope that helps, High Priestess. Thank you for your question. I'm going to move on once I can find the right button to change the camera. There we go. I need to have I want to have an actual button that I press and it does these things for me, but unfortunately that isn't quite working yet. Let me have a look. Ayushi, good evening, Ayushi. I hope you are well. I've got one more super chat in and then we'll be opening up 3 rounds. So then, the next super chat is for Judy. You are enough, says Judy. Judy, you are enough. You are wonderful. And Judy is one of our lovely members here on the channel. So just before I do the reading for Judy, I am going to hit this, grab a slurp of my coffee, and then I will be back. So Judy, get yourself ready. You got exactly 36 seconds. Yes, indeed. You can click join for more information. By the way, if you haven't already, please do the wonderful YouTubey things, the thumbsy uppy thing, hit that like button, and also hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you have, make sure your bell is clicked and set to all. That's the best thing. That way you'll get notifications whenever I go live. I am planning on doing some more videos, maybe a weekly or some sort of more, slightly more regular, maybe a fortnightly video where I talk about tarot, but it won't be a live stream, if that makes sense. So I won't be doing readings. I'll be talking about maybe how I got into tarot, maybe a bit about different decks, things like that. So if you've got any suggestions of what you want to know about the tarot that isn't just me doing readings, let me know down in the comment section, just down below. Let me know, and the mods can grab that for me and send it over via WhatsApp so I can see that information, what it is that you are maybe looking for. Anyway, Judy, my darling, so we're going to do the usual gubbins. Cleanse the space with a 3 times bell, and we're bringing in Wispy. Wispy, once again, my darling Wispy, Judy would like to know, her meditation practice has taken a shift lately, and she'd be grateful to have insight into what might be happening. Let's have a look. So then, that sounds interesting. I'm going to swap decks. I don't know why I'm swapping decks. There must be a reason. I do know the Lightseers deck feels very much more meditative, mindful, spiritual than the fifth Spirit Tarot does. The Fifth Spirit can be a bit blunt and kind of gives it as it needs to be. Whereas when we're looking at a meditation practice, maybe that shift is coming from somewhere else. So then Wispy, ooh, okay. As I mentioned, Wispy, he chucks out the Justice card. So we have a clarifying card for you. So first of all, what does justice mean? It's reversed, by the way. So what does justice card mean? The justice card is all about literally what it says on the tin, justice. In more nuanced ways, it's talking about legal matters, and it's talking about making sure that everything is just and fair and how things should be, if that makes sense. So this is reversed, or it came out reversed, which is saying that there is definitely something here that is out of kilter in terms of your general practice. So it could be that there is something either legal on your mind that is really, really troubling you right now, or it could be, Judy, that there is some injustice that is affecting you, and that is kind of like, that's the hot coal at the back of your mind, right? The reason I call it a hot coal is that Buddhists have a phrase, which is basically, if you pick up a hot coal to throw at your enemy, the first person that gets burned is yourself. And there is something, and basically what that means is, if you are, trying to hurt someone else in a particular way, quite often when we're acting vengefully or angrily, the person that we hurt first is ourselves, by not forgiving and by carrying that negative energy around. So it could be that there's something here around that, Judy, in terms of just the meditation side of things. Now, I have no idea when this deck was last shuffled, but as soon as you all know here on the channel, when Wispy chucks a card out and we get a clarifying or modifying card, that is when we stop the shuffling, and that is when we do go directly to the drop. So then that's the drop. We've cut the cards. Let's have a look. So we're going to use I tell you what, I'm going to use a different spread, right? I'm going to use a different spread. We're going to use a what's it called? Oh, brain farts just happened. Oh, it's not intrusive. It's the other thing. It sounds like intrusive. Isn't intrusive. It is intuitive. Good Lord. Good Lord. That was difficult. Gosh. Right. Okay. Wow. Okay. So an intuitive spread. So what I'm going to do is we're going to have a look here. We're going to have a look here. And we're going to have a look here. And we're going to look for patterns, Judy. So we've got a very basic past, present, and sort of future, but underlying, if that makes sense, right? So let's look at the past in terms of your spiritual and meditative practice. So we've got the Tower, we've got the Hierophant, and we've got the Ace of Pentacles. The Tower and the Hierophant are both reversed. So instantly there is something here that is saying that, so it feels like something has happened, and you've had the truth revealed in a way that is, it feels like the rug's been pulled out from you because of that Tower card. It feels like something happened and you're now dealing with new knowledge, and you're trying to do things. Maybe you're trying to meditate in the same way as you were before this knowledge was revealed, because the Tower is about having that rug pulled. The Hierophant is the guru element, but the Ace of Pentacles is about a new start and new growth, new projects returning, about work, career, and finances. So maybe there is something here, Judy, around having a whole bunch of new stuff happen, new revelations and challenges that, especially with this justice card coming in, that has made you have to start a new project in your work area, and that is affecting your meditation practice, or that is affecting, again, this might not be work, it might be in terms of growth, in terms of an area of your life that you're concentrating on, but it feels very much like this is what's causing you that, or is what's caused that shift in the first instance with the meditation, because it's kind of like was it oh gosh, my brain, I really should not try and remember quotes, should I? But I think it was Einstein, or it was given to Einstein, the line of, if you keep doing the same thing but expecting change, then you're an idiot. Basically, it wasn't that, but you know what I mean. Or the definition of idiocy is doing the same thing repeatedly but expecting a different result, something like that. Anyway, that's what it feels like in the past. So it feels like something has shifted quite severely. When we get to where your practice is now, we've got the Queen of Cups, so this is a self-love card in this spread. We've got the Seven of Pentacles, so again, difficult choices around work and money. There's difficult elements coming in around how you grow and how you nurture and how you express and how you kind of move forward. And there's also the King of Swords. Now, the King of Swords, again, has got that element of trouble and strife and lessons to learn and all of that, because it's the king. So there is something, again, something coming in the present, which is saying that even though we've had this shift, the Ace of Pentacles coming in here with this uncertainty over Pentacles here, both of those are lining up. The two cards we've got here with the Tower and the Hierophant, that guru element, I keep coming back to this idea. Maybe the guru wasn't a guru. Maybe the teacher wasn't your teacher, because the King of Swords is here saying that, again, this is a lesson that you weren't expecting to learn. Something has happened in your mundane life that is affecting the meditative, the magical, the practice work. And let's have a look at where that may be, because this is going on under the surface. This is kind of like what is happening. So past, present, this is looking at what's going on in the subconscious. So the Seven of Swords, again, another seven, that's echoing this idea of dealing with hassles, dealing with challenges, dealing with trouble and strife and lessons and all of those things, and not knowing where to turn. So I think your conscious mind is dealing with things in a particular way, but your subconscious is ruminating and cogitating a little bit too much. We've also got the Queen of Pentacles reversed. So you've got Pentacles coming in the past with a new project, new career, then the Seven of not making choices. We've got the Seven here, and we've got the Pentacles here with the Queen. So the Queen is coming in literally saying you need to nurture yourself, you need to develop yourself, you need to look at these things from you and how you need them to be. But there's something here that you're missing. So whatever this challenge is in the physical, in the mundane world, it's affecting your subconscious, it's affecting your spiritual, because this Queen of Pentacles is reversed. Ideally, you'd want this nice and open. Look how amazing. I mean, always makes me think of ... Oh my God. Oh, Thingy Bassett. She played Tina Turner. She played T'Challa's mum, the Queen in Wakanda. Oh my God. Amanda Bassett, Alison Bassett, Angela Bassett. Oh God, I got there eventually. Angela Bassett. She just looks serene, right? Completely and utterly at peace, at one with the world, the essence of Gaia, all of these lovely things, but it's reversed. So it's saying that subconsciously your spiritual connection, there is something here not quite in tune. And then we get the Hermit, and the Hermit is reversed. And the Hermit, when it's reversed, is saying that you being alone, trying to do this alone and this alone, sometimes is not going to be the right method. Sometimes you need to reach out, you need to speak to colleagues, you need to speak to other people within the community to get that support and assistance, because sometimes going alone, seeking that wisdom, isn't going to be the answer that you need. Sometimes you really do need to try and bounce off other people to get that support. So I don't know if that helps at all. It does feel like you need to tackle this underground, unconscious, sort of deep-seated element. I think it's all arriving from this justice thing. So if there's a legal matter or some paperwork, contracts type matter you need to deal with, you need to get that done and dusted. It does feel like there's been revelations that weren't great, but now you're struggling a bit how to move on from those, because again, Queen of Cups, that's that nurturing wonderment. The Queen of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles should go really lovely together, but you've got this blockage here on the, maybe it's the money side, maybe there's an element about how you can, you know, monetize certain skills, especially in the spiritual realm. It's very, very difficult. I know, you know what I mean, I struggle so much with all of that. I really, really do. I am not good at the business element of what I do. But yeah, hopefully that helps. What I would say is the key cards to take away. Look, this is how you deal with the challenges, right? I think you need to tackle them in a way that will be sensible. So break them down. Take, you know, if you can't deal with this big thing over here, deal with the smaller things in the run up to it. The Queen of Pentacles here, just try very hard to turn her around. Try very hard to see the value and the worth of what you do, and do it in a way that is enabling. Because again, this meditation practice, if you're worried about things financially, if you're worried about the business side of things, that's going to seep through. And again, this shift has happened with this ace. It feels like this starting of monetizing has been the key shift point. And then again, the Hermit, ask other people. Don't try and do things alone. Ask for advice. The hardest and strongest thing you'll ever do is ask for help. Okay, it's the hardest thing for a lot of us to do, but it's also sometimes the most worthwhile. And my darling, I hope that helps. Whatever this legal matter is, though, get it dealt with, because it's underpinning all of this. And whether that is insurance, whether that is needing certification or whatever it is, get that done, because this is going to be underpinning everything. And I hope, my darling, I hope that gives you some answers. Thanks ever so much for your question and for your donation. And thank you ever so much for being a lovely member and for being so bloody lovely all the time. Right then, I'm going to shuffle these cards. While I do, it is time. It is time. If you've been here since the beginning, it is time to open up a free round. We've gone through our super chats this evening. So if you would like a free reading, how do you get a free reading on this channel? How do you get your question answered with the use of the tarot? Oh, there we go. Look, resonates completely. Your husband tries to keep you from your spiritual practices. It does make it challenging. You can feel it take away from your meditation, the legal matters with him. Okay, my darling. Well, I hope, fingers crossed, things get a little bit better for you. It does feel that, you know, I think you do need to, I think there is an element about monetization there. I really do, because it's come up. There's pentacles in all three, and all three were a little bit so accept that some things, services are worth buying. Okay, you're not buying time, you are buying experience. So, you know, if you call a plumber because your sink is broken, right, something's gone, it might take that plumber 10 minutes to fix the problem, and then he'll charge you $80 perhaps, right? Call out fee, all of that. You're not paying $80 for that 10 minutes of time. You're paying $80 for the 20 years that plumber took to gain the knowledge and the experience, and to know he always has to carry XY nut in XY size for this problem that he can then go and solve really quickly. Do you know what I mean? So again, if you've been doing something for a long time and you're now trying to monetize it, this is where that can get difficult. It's doing the thing where you go from free services or very, very discounted services to your market value. I have struggled with it. It's one of the reasons why I haven't done many events this year. That and the fact I've been too bloody busy. But again, you are valued, and your time and experience should be valued. And with that, my darling, I'm going to say thank you ever so much for your question. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's open that brand new free round. So if you would like a question, how do you get one? I'm not even going to tell you. I'm just going to play this. Okay, so then let me have a look in that there comment section. Oh, right. Okay, so I've got I've got two questions in. Ayushi, please don't spam the chat, my darling. Please don't spam the chat. Right, I've got two questions in. Now, ooh, you know what that means, and the mods and the regular viewers will know what that means. It means I've got to slurp my coffee. Hang on 1 second. I've got to explain something. There we go. Hopefully I did I mute that then? Hopefully I muted it. You didn't hear me slurping my coffee really fast. Now I've got a bigger problem. I've moved things. Where are my blooming thingies? Oh no. Oh no! What did I do with them? I put them somewhere safe. Oh, bugger. I did put them somewhere safe and now I can't find them. Give me a second. Give me a second. Are they under there? Nope. Are they on there? Nope. What did I do with my talismans? I found them, everybody. I found them. Right. So what happens? What we do when there are two questions in, it's very, very simple. Okay. What we do when there are two questions in is we settle it like medieval knights. We do this. Okay. So maybe not medieval knights, but we do a talisman toss. Okay, so what do I mean by talismans? Well, I've got these lovely talismans here from Witch Casket, and we've got 5 of them, one for each of the elements. So I'm just grabbing one at random, and today we've got the earth element. As you can see, earth, and we've got the lovely inverse triangle, and we've got, what's that? There's some corn or leaves or something, and we've got grass and leaves all growing around it to give us our earth, right? So when we do it on this channel, we basically, the person that asked the first question, so I believe, let me just double check, I believe that was Ayushi Awasi. So Ayushi, you go first. So you get the sigil side. Okay, so you get this side, and Ultra Ego Wisdom, my darling, you get the text side. Okay, and we literally toss the talisman. We always put it face up or sigil side up, and I'm going to rest my arm here just so that it doesn't go all over the floor, because we've had that happen in the past. Right then, so Ayushi, you are the sigil. Ultra Ego Wisdom, you are the wording. Let's toss the talisman. Oh, there we go. So Ayushi, my darling, it's your question that I am going to read next. Ultra Ego Wisdom, don't go anywhere. Copy and select, or select and copy your question, and I will do my, where should I put these? Where should their new home be? I'm going to put them in there. There we go. So then, yeah, as I say, select and copy your question, and I will do it. I will open up another round, and you'll be able to put it in the next round, if that makes sense. Right then, Ayushi, let's go for you, my darling. So, as always, we are cleansing the space, and we're going to bring in Wispy with the wind chimes. So, Wispy, Ayushi would like to know what is coming for me this full moon. It's my birthday that day. Okay. How will the coming days be after that? So you want to know what is happening for your birthday and afterwards. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. Right then, we speak. We want to know what is coming for Ayushi this full moon. It's their birthday, and how will the next few days be? So if there's any guidance over the next, maybe the next week or two, let's bring it right down to that. So then let's have a look. I always want to go Inspector Gadget. That has been on my brain for a little while this week. I don't know why. So then we're doing the where you are, what you need to know, and what the future opportunity is. Ooh, okay. So anything good happening around the full moon? So the next couple of weeks, we've got the Four of Pentacles coming. I think there's the fact we've got 2 4s, everything seems to be station keeping. So it seems to be that there's going to be quite a sort of, yeah, it's going to be quite okay this next couple of weeks, even in for the next month, really, because we've got the Four of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. So to have 2 4s in a 3-card reading, especially both upright, especially these two. So we've got the work, career, finance, and growth card, and we've got the confidence, self-esteem, and all of that suit, not card, suit. So it feels like where you are work-wise and everything else, everything is going okay. It doesn't feel like there's going to be any major changes happening. It doesn't feel like there's going to be a lot of bumps in the road for you to come. It feels like everything's going to be ticking over quite nicely, happily, kind of moving along the same way it has done recently. Okay, so it doesn't feel like there's going to be any major shocks. There's no Tower card. There's nothing that's going to come and, you know, swipe you unforeseen with the work, career, and financial side. So it feels like whatever that is, study, all of that, what you are learning, where you are headed towards, it feels like all of that is still going to be quite stable, ticks over nicely, if you know what I mean. Wands, in your self-esteem, in your confidence, again, this is what you need to know. It doesn't feel like there's anything that's going to knock you down this next couple of weeks. It doesn't feel like, again, it doesn't feel like your birthday is going to be a key pivotal time. So you're not going to have a party and then one of your best friends tells you that they've been lying to you all this time and actually, you know, they slept with your ex-boyfriend or anything like. It doesn't feel like there's going to be drama coming your way. It doesn't feel like there's going to be, also though, just be aware, it doesn't feel like there's going to be any major highs either. So if you're expecting a really wonderful, amazing, best birthday ever, golden stars and sparkles and rainbows and all of that, might not be that. It might just be a plain old birthday, if that makes sense, which again is still nice to have, a little bit of a celebration, but it's not going to be, you know, this isn't going to be getting on one of those space plane things and going up into space and having the most wonderful experience of your life. It feels like everything's just going to be ticking over quite happily. And again, for a lot of us, this would be ideal. You know what I mean? Having things kind of station keeping would be absolutely ideal. The opportunity in the future, there is a little bit of a wrinkle here because we've got the Emperor, and the Emperor card is sometimes seen as an older male. It could be a father figure, it could be a teacher, it could be an employer even, but it's somebody who's got a lot of scope and say over your life in certain aspects. In this deck, you can see that the Emperor here actually has blueprints and screwdrivers and whatever those are. I can't remember what they're called. Compasses, isn't it? And then those twirly things. I don't know if they're supposed to be cogs in a system, but the Emperor here is very much the architect. It's the person that's designing things. It's the person that is controlling. Now this is reversed, so there could well be a bit of a negative influence coming from a boss, a father figure, a husband figure, some other older male figure that has some sort of sway over your life. It doesn't feel completely negative, but it does feel like there's going to be a layer of control more than what you would like, if that makes sense. So again, it's a bit of a weird one. It isn't going to be a majorly eventful time. So this full moon, the next couple of weeks, it doesn't feel like it's going to be a major. This isn't going to be one of those times that you look back on in years to come and go, oh, my life changed on that birthday. It's like everything's going to be ticking over quite nicely, with the one exception of expect this male figure to kind of try and, well, I guess control is the right word, but it doesn't feel like they're going to have their say, and they're going to say what they have to say, and they're going to try and make you act or behave or do something a particular way. Okay, they're gonna try and make you conform in some way, but it doesn't feel hugely negative, and I don't know why. I think it's because you've got so much positivity here, so much ticking over, if that makes sense. So hopefully just watch out for this Emperor. Just watch out. You know, you are a strong, independent person. You don't have to listen to what somebody else tells you, unless it's your boss. You know, you might want to listen to your boss, I guess. But if it is just a family member or, you know, somebody else, you've got your life to live, and you are completely entitled to live it your way. Just watch out for that Emperor energy, though. But with that, my darling, I'll wish you a very happy birthday. Is that the 23rd? I wish you a very happy birthday. And in fact, I can wish you a happy birthday like this. I realized there was no sound. Anyway, happy birthday to you, my darling. I was dancing to the music and I was singing along, but you couldn't hear me because the mic was off, which is probably a blessing. Anyhow, I know it's back. Sound ego gone wisdom. That's what happens when you don't wear your glasses, Lisa. But yes, anyway, you can hear the music. I know. It's good, isn't it? Right then. So let's go ahead and open up another round. If you would like a tarot reading, how do you get one on this channel? There are two ways. The first way, to guarantee that you are next, you can always send your question as a super chat. Super chat, and that comes through automatically on a different screen. However, you might not want to do that or be able to do that, and that is perfectly fine, in which case just pop your question down into the chat, starting with the word question, and I will pick one of those at random. If we only get two, we do it as a talisman drop. As you just saw, we toss the talisman. If we get multiples, then, as I say, I will grab one of those at random. The only way to guarantee your place on the list,
you just made the list,
is to send it as a super chat. And if you want to do either of those things, you can do so right now. And just in case you missed what I said, here's a handy dandy recap. Chalice is a small business making crafty creations for the Witcher community. From jewellery to wall hangings, witch bells to altar tiles. Why not have a look at bluechalice.etsy.com. Yes, indeed. Right, let's have a look at the chat. And we've got Asia. Please don't put more than one question in, my darling. It's not going to affect how it is chosen. I literally do it manually. I click on the questions as they come in, and then I pop them into a different screen, and then I use the magic, or maybe not the magic, but I use the mouse, the little lasery pointery thing on the mouse. I close my eyes and I pick one of them at random. Okay, so we're going to do that now. There's 3 in, so we're going to click this one. Where's the mouse? Oh, the mouse is on the other monitor, so that wasn't a very good selection, was it? Right then, here we go. Round and 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 round, and click this one. Nope. 3rd time's the charm. Bear with me. I need to find a better way of doing this, don't I? Maybe I should get a dice. And then we have like a one. Blaming heck. Nothing is working. Right. No, everything's working. We're working fine. I'm just clicking on. I'm not clicking on a question. So I'm going to do this way now. Up and down on the thing. And we're going for that one. Oh, flaming hell. Mods, we need to find a better way of doing this. I need to find a better way. Right. This one. Is that a question? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Alter Ego Wisdom. Hello, my darling. How will I cope at my new job for the next few weeks? Just today, you got warned. You don't want to lose your job and you've been having good vibes. Okay, my darling, let's have a look at that for you. Bear in mind, this is not legal advice. This is not union advice, although I used to be a union rep. This is not any of those things. This is just the tarot cards, okay? Just the tarot cards. And although the tarot cards can deliver us lots and lots of lovely, interesting things, they... Oh, I've lost my thing there. There we go. Although the tarot cards can deliver lots of things, it's just bear in mind, okay? You know what I'm trying to say? This is not legal advice for work, but we'll see what ways we can help. Right. I waffled all through that because I was trying to get a different thing up, and I think I was trying to get that one up. There we go. That makes sense. Cleanse the area.
You just made the list.
Oh. I pressed the wrong button. There we go. I love how you can see now with this setup slightly changed. Ooh, no, Wispy. I haven't even asked you the question yet, but I like how you can see my setup and how I'm flipping through all the pages on my Stream Deck to get to the ones I'm looking for. Right then, so Wispy, welcome. Alter Ego Wisdom would like to know, how will I cope at my new job for the next few weeks? Just today, they got warned and don't want to lose their job as they've been having good vibes. When in this climate, nobody wants to lose a job. Nobody does. It's a very difficult time for many, many people, my darling. So let's have a look. Right then, Wispy. Here we go. By the way, have you all been watching Doctor Who? It's on Disney Plus and on the BBC. Have you all been watching it? I've seen the first 2. Very good so far. I'm liking it so far. Right then, so we're gonna do a work. We're gonna do. I tell you what, we haven't done this one for a while. We'll do your situation. Okay. The obstruction. Okay. And the solution. Oh, interesting. Oh, I like. Right. Okay. Let me explain why I like it. So, Alter Ego Wisdom, here in the situation, it's a little bit stale. Nope. Stable. Yep. Stagnant. Yep. All of those things. Right. 4 of Wands. Wands is confidence, self-esteem. So this coming up, the 4 coming up in your situation, I think it's good that you are kind of, I don't think that, hang on, right, brain, let's do this properly. Right. I don't think it's too much for you, this job, right? I don't think it's not that it's too challenging. It's not that it's too difficult or that you haven't had the training or anything like that. It feels very much that you're able to do it and that you're able to function well with the job, because we've got the stability here with that flame, that spark from the wands. So it feels very confident. However, that also, this isn't the most exciting and, ooh, look at me, I'm future management material. It isn't that. It's very much almost flying under the radar. Do you know what I mean? It's like everything's okay, but there's not that amazing spark of, oh my god, look how wonderful everything could be, look how amazing you are for the company, that sort of thing. In the obstacle, we've got the Knight of Cups. Now this is interesting because the cups is your emotional suit, and the knights are that younger teenage energy where it's all about kind of reacting rather than responding. So there's some choices here that I think you might be making from a gut instinct perspective or from an emotional perspective, and that's something that's always difficult. Getting written up or getting a warning in work is always difficult. It always hurts. And I think it's easy to have like a knee-jerk reaction or to have a, oh my god, do you know what I mean? It's very easy to have that reaction. However, sometimes we need to just accept that, especially when we're new to a situation, we're new to this company, even if we've done this job elsewhere for several years, we need to alter it to how this company wants things done, which is why I am so fucking happy that the Hierophant has come up in the solution position. Because the Hierophant, what the fuck is a Hierophant? A lot of people will ask. Probably not using that language, but hey, what the fuck is a Hierophant? Well, the Hierophant is often depicted as the high priest, a papal figure. For me, it's a guru or a teacher. Now, in this particular spread for this particular question, this would be a manager, a senior operator within the company, a CEO, somebody like that. I think you have here an opportunity to go to somebody higher up and say to them, I've been given a warning and I accept that I've got some things to learn. I'm fairly new here. Can I ask some advice? How do I do the job, but how do I make sure I fit in? How do I make sure I do the things you're expecting of me? What is it that I'm lacking that I can work on? Where can I improve? Those sort of questions. It's going to do two things, Ultra Ego Wisdom. One of them, it's going to give you a better understanding of what it is that the company's expecting. Okay, so again, you may have been doing XYZ job previously for 20 years, but if this particular company wants you to do things this particular way, you've got to learn the culture of that job. Even if it's, and don't get me wrong, like this could be a basic entry level job that a lot of people do. So it could be frying fries at McDonald's, right? You think that's a fairly standard job, but actually if you've done it Burger King's way and Wendy's way, McDonald's have a different system. So although you've done it, you've got to change what you would normally do to alter it to match that system. The same if you're in a legal firm, the same if you are a neurosurgeon. If you change hospitals, there's different red tape and different procedures. All the way through, you've got to make sure that you are doing what that particular company is looking for. Do you know what I mean? So that's on one side. The other thing it does is it shows to the higher ups in the business that you are interested in growing and learning and becoming part of the corporate team and basically doing things the way that they want. So it kind of, because most people will just go, oh no, I got a warning, put my head down. But for some people, if you are the one that raises your head and say, okay, I completely accept that, I got this warning. Can you please advise me? How do I do this? How do I better do that? That sort of person, for most managers, good managers will see that as being somebody who is genuinely wanting to improve and genuinely wanting to stay in that job and blah, blah, blah. Bad managers will see it as somebody who's not got a level of understanding, which is why you need to go to the Hierophant, the guru, the teacher. So if it's somebody within training or somebody higher up, just, as you're walking through the office one day or as you're walking through the restaurant or whatever it is you do, as you're walking past, just say, oh, can I, if you've got a couple of minutes, could I possibly have a word? Ask it like that. Don't make it a big thing, and then literally just say, you know, I got written up. I need some advice. How do I? What is it you expect of me? How do I, you know, improve in those areas? And that would be my advice, darling. And that is the advice that the cards have given you, which is why I think I'm so glad this came up on that spread in that way, because I think this is a really good answer. Anyway, so there you go. That is your reading, my darling. Thank you for your question. I hope that helps. I can see there's been lots and lots of comments in the chat. So let's no, I don't want to end the stream, nor do I want to play the Hierophant again. Right, let's have a look. Right, let's have a look. You watch the Doctor Who. Chuty is great, isn't he? Isn't he just great? Ellis, I'm sorry you're having some frustration with health. I know that feeling a lot, if that makes sense. Do everybody's look at that, everybody's saying that they hope you're well. Be gentle and kind to yourself. Absolutely. Yeah, nobody knows what a Hierophant is. A mentor, that's another good way of putting it. A guru, a teacher. Have a lovely time, Judy. Have a lovely time. 100%. Yep. Listen, having confidence isn't easy, right? Having confidence isn't easy. I can only do this on the computers, on the live streamy thing, partly because there's nobody actually in the room with me. And when Neil, who is so close to me, I literally refer to him as my brother from another mother. He's known me for more years than either of us would ever care to think about. But him being in the room while I was doing a live stream was fucking terrifying, because there was somebody else in the room. And obviously I'm normally here just chatting shit to myself and talking to a monitor and seeing some words popped up on screen. So yeah, absolutely. But having confidence, there is a certain amount of fake it till you make it, but also, right, have confidence in speaking to somebody within that workforce. They don't want to lose you, right? They don't want to sack you. They don't want to get rid of you, because it's a pain in the ass to recruit someone, train someone, you know, exit interview someone, all of that. It's a pain in the ass. Companies don't want that. They just want people to turn up on their shift when they're supposed to, do their job, and maybe go home afterwards. Some companies will expect you to do an extra hour, all of that bullshit. But it's literally a case of they expect you to come in, do the job that they need doing. And if they've employed you, they think you're right for that job. It might just be a little bit of tweaking here and there. Anyway, I hope that helps. I've got blue tack on my desk, on my monitor. That was annoying me. I know, right? Ed, you haven't watched BBC for a long time. It's on. If you've got a VPN, right? If you've got a VPN on your computer, then you can watch it on Disney Plus if you've got Disney Plus. If not, you can watch it on BBC iPlayer. But you need to set up an account with all of your details, and then you need to have a TV license. Yeah. That was my doctor, Patricia. That was my doctor. Oh, that's really funny. That's really funny. The blonde guy from the vet program. And oh my God, hang on. I'm going to have to go through them in order because I've completely forgotten. So we went with Hartnell, Troughton, Pertwee, Baker, Peter Davidson. That's who it is. Fibro brain. But yeah, Peter Davison. I love Peter Davison. That was my doctor when I started watching Doctor Who. Absolutely lovely guy. And yeah, he was my doctor. Which when they did the Children in Need special, and David Tennant, who was the doctor at the time, basically popped into the TARDIS, and Peter Davison popped in, and there was a wibbly wobbly timey wimey thing. They absolutely 100%. David Tennant said, "You were my doctor," and I was like, "Mine too." Anyway. Good evening, Elisa. Ed, no, I know. I've heard it. I've heard it said. No, I've heard it said that you can put in another person's details that has a TV license if you know them that well, put it that way. So if you have a friend with a TV license, I've heard it said that that is a possible thing to do. Although I've never tried it myself, because luckily I have a VPN and I have Disney Plus, because of course I do, because Marvel. You saw Peter Davison in At Home with the Braithwaites. Yeah, he did play an idiot. You can't see him in any other light. Yes, I get what you mean. For a lot of people, he had just left the All Creatures Great and Small series and went to Doctor Who, so he was still the vet. Very interesting times. But anyway, enough talk about Doctor Who. Let's have are we taking questions, Rube? Yes, we are. We are taking questions. In fact, the next round is now open. We didn't have any questions in. So yes, you can ask a question. Ask your question. So if you want to ask a question, please put your question into the live chat, starting with the word question, and then write your question. Okay, send it through, and I will pick one of those at random. I'm going to hit this lovely thing again. So yeah, you've got about 30 seconds. Ellis, everybody else, get your questions in. Rube, everyone, get your questions in. You've got 30 seconds now. Okay, right. I've got some questions in. Let me take the doodah off and let's have a look. So I've got a question from Asia, a question from Rube, and a question from RR. There we go. Let me have a look. And I've popped those into that section. And so I'm going to do what I always do. I am... there we go. I'm going to do what I always do, which is to go between them to get one. Hang on, that one off and that one off. There we go. So I'm going to go between them. I've got 3 in. So let's go. We're going with this one. Oh, nothing's come up. I always look at the screen to see what one it is, because quite frankly, it's a little bit bigger on my screen, and I can't really read what the answers are. I can't read what the questions are. I've got my eyes shut. I'm clicking on one. No. Third time's the charm again. That one. Question. May I please have a mutual romance reading? Is there anything for you? I don't know what a mutual romance reading is. Is it just you're looking for a love reading? You're looking to see if there is romance coming your way. Let's have a look for you. So then I'm going to swap the camera. Like using this deck, the Lightseers deck. So that's what we're going to do. As always, we're going to cleanse the area. I'm bringing Wispy, the air elemental dragon. So yes, I have a dragon. I have 5 dragons. This one is called Wispy, not this drawing. I've got an actual dragon who is an egregore, or maybe he's a servitor, maybe he's a tolpa, maybe he's a thought form. If you want to know what my dragons are, because they are real, then there is a podcast all about them, and it's linked just down in the description box, just before the page break. If you click on that, there's a podcast episode with me and Neil discussing my dragons. And the next podcast should be out, by the way, this coming week, in the next week, I think, before the end of the month anyway. So yeah, between now and the probably this week. Depends how long it takes to finish editing. Anyway, Wispy, good evening. RR would like to know, may I please have a romance reading? Is there anything there for RR? So let's see what we get. I'm just going to make sure I'm on the right part of the screen so I don't see all of that. So then, and here we go. I've got my videos up just in case I need videos. So then, let's do your drop, RR. Obviously, as I always say, if you were here in person, you'll be doing the drop with me. It's going again. Oh, I could feel it going again then. So let's have a look. So then, we are going to do, is there romance coming in the next period of time? So I'm just trying to choose which spread to use. We're going to go with, I tell you what, we'll do the standard. Where you are now, what you need to know about romance, and what is coming up about romance. Okay, so then where you are now. Ooh, the Knight of Pentacles. Are you working too much? Is there too much going on in the office, at work, or to actually leave space? Question mark, question mark, question mark. So the Knight of Pentacles. Knights are the teenage rebellious energy I always talk about. Knights are the ones that act first, think later. The Knight of Pentacles is all about trying to go on this journey, trying to earn more money, trying to, move up the career ladders, all of that. But also you can see, because we're talking about a journey forward and moving forward, they're constantly in motion. The Knight of Pentacles is constantly kind of looking for the next step up, the next rung of the ladder, the next part of the journey. Normally with Pentacles, we're talking about growth. With the Knights of Pentacles, that growth is something that they are all about. So if the Knight of Pentacles had a YouTube channel, it would all be about looking at the analytics, watching the watch hours and the subscriber counts and all of that, and what's Mr. Beast got, and how do I get where Mr. Beast is, for example, and all of those things, right? Other big YouTubers exist. I just can't think of any because I'm not really into the big YouTubers. However, so this is saying this is where you are, right? The question that instantly hit my head as soon as I saw this was, are you focusing too much on work to allow any space for romantic energy? Because if you're working a lot of hours, how are you going to meet someone unless it's at work? Now, it may be you could have a customer facing job, so you could meet lots of customers. Is that going to be something that is, are you going to meet the person of your dreams depending on what your job is? Who knows? But it for me, this is talking about, I don't think there's a lot of space in your life right now, because it feels like the work, money, study, all of that side of things is kind of the number one priority. In what you need to know, we've got the Empress, but the Empress here is reversed. Now, the Empress, when she's reversed, the Empress upright is my favorite card in any tarot deck, maybe apart from this one because of the belly. I don't like it where she's pregnant with the earth. It just rubs me the wrong way. However, the Empress is always about nurturing, about abundance, about having plenty and having more than enough to support other people and to help. When she's reversed, it's about, like, this element of abundance seems to be more of the focus, about accumulating wealth and not necessarily supporting others, not giving it that lovely family kind of vibe, being one with the community and all of that. This feels very much like exploitative, and it feels far more that you are after growth for material means than it does for support, you know, to support a family or to support a romance, to support friends. And you know what I mean? It feels far more mercurial than that. And then when we get to the future opportunity, we've got the Hermit reversed. Now, the Hermit, again, is talking about, the Hermit's come up a couple of times across both decks. And the Hermit is talking about spending a lot of time on your own to gain wisdom. However, the Hermit, when it's reversed, is talking about like there is no need. There is no need to cut yourself off from a situation. And again, the future opportunity, you like, don't do this. Don't cut yourself off. Don't leave no space. Don't put yourself out of contact of people and everything else because you want to you know, gain other things. The only way you're going to meet people is by meeting people. The only way you're going to have a romance and somebody come into your life that has feelings for you is by spending your time meeting lots of different people. It very much is a numbers game. And that doesn't mean, you know, you can meet people online and on apps and all of these things, but you have to go for dates. You have to put yourself out there. This isn't a time for you to be stuck in work mode or stuck in study mode. Do you know what I mean? This really is something that it's saying your focus at the moment with all of these three cards seems to be more career and future prospects, which is fantastic, but that's not going to leave you any space at the moment for someone else to come in. And this Hermit card coming up in the future, again, don't do this. Don't do this. This is not going to allow anyone else into your life. If you are shutting that door or disappearing up a mountain or whatever you're doing because you need to work hard to get a better life in the future, then you're not allowing yourself to meet anybody in the present. Do you know what I mean? Hopefully that makes sense. It doesn't feel like there's any mutual romance coming at the moment because it doesn't feel like you've got space in your life at the moment. What I would say is to make some space, meet some people, do some fun activities that aren't work or career related, and that might start making space for other people to enter your life, and who knows where that may lead. But with that, my darling, I'm going to say thank you very much for your question, and I'm going to pop back over onto the live doodah on the live chat. There we go, and there we go, and hang on, come on, there we go. So let me have a look. I'm just going through the chat. No worry, Ellis. We've all been on stroppy tea. On the stroppy tea. I don't know what stroppy tea is. Is that something you drink, or do you mean like a stroppy tea? Something about Mr. Beast makes you shudder. He does seem really artificial. He does seem quite fake now, because again, he knows what YouTube wants. You're all buggers, but I love you. That's really funny. You're yet to have your tea. I know, right? I haven't had my tea yet. I've had my coffee, and now I've got either water, energy drink, or Pepsi. I think I'm going to finish my energy. No, I don't fancy finishing my energy drink. I might have to put a lid on that. I might drink some water, just some lovely aqua. That's what I'm drinking, aqua. Just in case you didn't know, it was a bottle. Hang on, how do they think we say it? Bottle of water. Bottle of water. Yeah, just because, you know, if you didn't realize this was a bottle of water, then they've written the word aqua on it just so that you know this is a bottle of water. Anywho, no worries, Ara. I hope that helps, my darling. Again, you've got to leave yourself a little bit of space in your life in order to have people in your life, if that makes sense. Anyway, you're having a mucky mackies. We had, so again, yesterday, Monday seemed to be a day where my brain doesn't work. I had a bit of a recovery day yesterday because, again, lots of nothing wrong with Council Pop. This isn't even actually aqua. This is tap water from the tap. It's not been filtered or anything. I know. Look at me. Aren't I brave? I'm joking. Oh, I haven't heard that, Holland. I haven't heard that he's not nice to his employees. He has to be nice to his employees because he's got If there was a scandal about Mr. Beast, it would be everywhere. Monday was a recovery day for us, so we'd ended up sorting the dog's dinner out and everything else, and then it got so late into the evening because we were just doing other things, that by the time it was like, we were like, okay, we need to think about dinner, it was already 10 o'clock at night, and I was like, I need to eat. So I ended up ordering a takeaway, but once again forgot that I shouldn't be having potatoes or tomatoes, and ended up getting a kebab because that was like the least unhealthy version, especially where we get it from. It's grilled meat and things, but it came with chips and it came in a tomato and spicy sauce. So that was an epic fail. So today I've woken up and again, my elbow joints are hurting, my knees are hurting. So we've got another fibro flare because of me eating bloody chips. But also I paid for them and they weren't the cheapest, so I was not going to not eat them once they turned up, if that makes sense. Anyway, right, it is 17 minutes to go. So shall we have another round? I think we should have another round. I think it is time. Rube, you didn't get picked, my darling. I saw your question, but it came in with one from Asia and one from RR, and I picked from the 3 at random, and yours didn't come in. So that's how we do it on this channel, because we get more questions than we can ever answer. So I pick them at random. The only way to guarantee your question is to send it as a super chat. Otherwise, everybody that's here live has the opportunity to ask a question, and I can pick those. I will pick one of those at random, my darling. So that's how that works. But it is time. We're doing it now. We're opening up another round. So again, if you want a question, you can go ahead and pop that in the live chat, starting with the word question, or you can send it across as a super chat. Either way, that is the way to do it. Belinda, hello, my darling. It was me. I did it by accident. I hit the gift memberships thing, and it went out to random people on the channel, and you are one of the random people on the channel, my darling. So hello, and you are very welcome. So yes, I didn't know how that worked, and I still don't know how that worked because I thought people had to be on the live stream, but apparently not. Anyway, go ahead, send your question as a question, send it as a send your question in the live chat starting with the word question, or send it through as a super chat to guarantee you are up next. Either way, do those things. Okay, it looks like we've had one question in on that round. So, Rube, it's your question. You see, it pays to have patience on this channel. It really does. It pays to have patience. So you were the only person to pop a question in on that round, which means it's your question that I am going to answer right now. It's you that we're going to read for. So then, as always, I am going to swap camera, and I will read for you in 6 seconds time. Yes, indeed. Right then. So, as always, cleansing that space and bringing in Wispy. By the way, if you don't know, this is a tradition that goes back many hundreds of years of using bells to cleanse space and as protection. So the idea is the vibrational energy of the bell actually kind of cascades out and sends neutralizing vibrations everywhere. So it's one of the theories behind church bells, because bells were associated with protection long before church buildings and that all existed. So yeah, go and have a look. It's a very interesting history, is bells in witchcraft and magic and religion and things. Anyhow, Wispy, talking about bells, we've got some lovely wind chime type bells going on to bring in Wispy, the air dragon. And Wispy, Rube would like to know, will my love, Joy, come back to me? Will my love, Joy, come back to me? So that's what Rube wants to know. Will Rube's love, Joy, I think Joy is a person. I think that's what if I'm getting at the right question. Will Rube's love, Joy, come back to them? Let's have a look. Oh, there we go. Thank you. I just saw a comment pop up and I wondered whether that was right. So yeah, thank you, Rube. Right then, let me have a look. Will Rube's, hang on, let me get off that screen. There we go. Will oh, hang on, I pressed the wrong one. I agree. There we go. This is the final reading for tonight. So I'm going to put that one on. There we go. So then, Wispy, will Rube's ex-girlfriend Joy come back to them? That's what we want to know. Let's have a look. Oops. Ooh. Oh, we've had a card jump as I was shuffling. Now, this doesn't always happen, but when it does, it happens with important cards. So the 10 of Cups is your modifying card. Now, basically what this means, Rube, is that this is the lens that I look at the reading through. Okay, so it's all going to get filtered through the 10 of Cups. What is the 10 of Cups? Cups is your emotional side. 10 is when things are overflowing. So it feels like there is an absolute overflow of love energy. Now, that isn't a good thing necessarily because it is overflowing. So it feels like this is from yourself, not from Joy. Okay, so this is basically, this is telling me that these are about your feelings rather than necessarily Joy's feelings, right? If that makes sense. So as soon as a card jumps, we stop shuffling and we do your drop. So here we go. There we go. Cut the cards, and then we go the past, the present, the future. Right, let's have a look. Oh, my darling. Right, okay, so in the past, the energy we've got is the Page of Cups. Cups, as I say, is your emotional suit. Cups is all about love and romance and all of these lovely things. However, the Page of Cups is very youthful energy. It's very naive energy. Okay, it feels like there is a it feels like it's kind of like maybe there's a very young energy here from the relationship, if that makes sense. So I'm not saying that or anything. What I'm literally trying to say, oh, hang on, my screen has gone wibbly. There we go. What I'm trying to say is that it feels like it was a very innocent type of relationship. And that is something which, because this is reversed, it's saying that it kind of wasn't necessarily the best relationship. It was maybe the first time for both of you, or a very, maybe a first time for one of you, but it definitely feels like this was like, I want to say puppy love, like teenage love, but I don't want that to be insulting if you're like 47. Do you know what I mean? I don't want this to seem insulting if you're like an older adult. But it feels like that puppy love. It feels like that innocent first time romance, first time round. Oh, we've got eyes for each other, and oh, I wonder what's happening, and ooh. That's what it feels like. In the present, however, it also, by the way, this being reversed is showing that ending. It's showing that things kind of didn't work. In the present, we've got the 5 of Swords. Now, just throwing it on the floor, don't mind me. The 5 of Swords is trouble and strife, obstacles, challenges, things like that. And it does feel as if there is this sort of hard lessons almost, because it's reversed. It feels like, and again, I don't know which way round things happened, but it feels like maybe oh, hang on, I've lost the bloody, where's the question? Why is it not the question not on my screen? There we go. It feels like maybe Joy ended things, because this is the sort of card that comes up when you've been left to pick up the pieces, if you know what I mean. And the Swords is trouble and strife, but here you can see there isn't really a victory here. There isn't really, nobody's won. We've got 3 swords or daggers that have been put into the ground upright, so these are like from the winners of the battle, but the losers' swords are still here as well. They've been thrown on the ground. The winner's flag, the pennant, doesn't actually look particularly good. It's got damaged, and it's a shallow victory. In this case, I think it's a shallow loss. So it really does feel like, it feels like Joy had her reasons to move on. And certainly it feels like, I don't know whether this was your first relationship, or your first serious relationship, that you were hoping was going to lead somewhere. It really does feel that sort of way, though. The future, we've got the 4 of Pentacles. So this is, I don't think there's any change coming. Basically, the answer to your question is no, I don't think Joy's going to come back to you, right? Because in the future, we've got the 4 of Pentacles. 4 is about stability, as things are now, as things are, staying, so shall they stay the same. And the Pentacles here is about work, career, finances, but it's also about growth. So I don't think there is any more growth. Do you know what I mean? There is nothing here for Joy to come back. There's no other cup cards. And this cups, I bet your heart feels like it's breaking as I'm talking, because I think that you were still hoping that there'd be a way for you both to patch things up and a way for you to move forward together. But I don't think there is, my darling, because these emotions are so strong. That's why it's sort of giving me this idea that it was Joy that decided to end it, and move on. And I don't think there's any change in that decision. Now, the one thing I would say is that for yourself, there are things that you can do for this not to be so painful, and for you to be able to move forward. And again, sometimes I hope, let me just say it, right? It feels like this is a younger relationship, but even if you are somebody in your 30s or 40s or 50s or whatever, it doesn't mean that you can't have this sort of relationship. It may be that you haven't had a lot of experience with, romantic relationships. Maybe you haven't had a lot of experience, with being in healthy relationships or whatever. It could be that this is your second relationship and your first marriage lasted 40 years. Do you know what I mean? You could still get this sort of reading. Having said that, it does feel that you're a little bit on the younger side, and maybe this is just one of those things where we all have to go through relationships that maybe when we're younger, we hope are going to be for a long term, but it turns out that for whatever reason, we're just not compatible. And for a lot of us, those are really important learning lessons. We learn what we want out of a relationship. We learn what we're looking for. We learn what we've got to offer other people, and also what we're prepared to accept. And it feels like, my darling, this is that sort of relationship for you, that look, it's it's done, it's dusted, and that for you, it's time to maybe lick your wounds and take a bit of time to, you know, grieve the relationship loss, but for then to be able to move forward and to maybe then start opening up to other people and opening up your heart again, and, you know, bringing that future love energy into your life. Let me put it that way. But anyway, it certainly doesn't feel like Joy is out there pining for you. It may be that she'll look back at the relationship and say, you know, I wish things had ended differently, but she's got no desire to get back involved. And for you, my darling, what I would say is that this 10 of Cups, it will be emotional, it will be hard felt, but things will get better, things will improve. Although, you know, I'm just an old woman on the internet giving you this advice from the cards, trust me, in time it will feel less and less heartbreaking, and as you move forward, you will find yourself opening up, remembering this relationship and the lessons that it's taught you, and moving and using those lessons in future relationships for the better. It just feels at the moment, my darling, that, you know, it's a bit of a tough time. I hope that things get better for you, from, you know, from being on your own and being, you know, grieving for the relationship that was. But yeah, that is going to be your reading for today, my darling, and I hope that helps. I hope it gives you a little bit of closure, if nothing else. But thank you ever so much for your question, and thank you for hanging in there so long, and putting your question in on so many of the free rounds. But that is going to be it tonight, everybody. Thank you so much to everybody for joining me. I've really enjoyed tonight. You know, I have really enjoyed it. We've done a mix of lots and lots of free readings, lots and, you know, a few of the donated readings. So thank you to everybody who asked questions, whether it was a free question, whether you got a reading or not, whether yours was picked or not, or even whether you sent it as a super chat or not. Thank you so much for being here today and joining me. Don't forget, I am back on Sunday evening at 7 p.m. UK time, or for the members, I am back at 6 p.m. UK time with a members only live stream. So come and join us over there on Sunday. If you're not a member, you can always join at any time here on the YouTubes. For the Americano level and above, then you can come and hang out with us on the live streams and just come and chill. But that is going to be it for me today. Thank you so much to the mods. You're all absolutely amazing. Yes. Oh, okay. I was right, Rube. You're 22. Listen, it will get better, and there will be other people. Trust me. And I hope that you do okay. You can always come and join us for a natter on Sunday evenings or Tuesday evenings. But that is it. I've been Lisa. You lot have been amazing. Thank you to the mods. Thank you to the subscribers. Thank you to the members. Thank you to everyone. And I will see you on the next one. And as we always say, stay you, stay true, stay authentic, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.